tips and advices about modeling. So first of all, let me tell you a bit about myself. My name is Claudia. I am 23 years old and I have been working as a model in Thailand for about 5 years, since I was 18. So yes, thinking back on the days when I first started, it would have been so great if I had someone to give me tips and advices about modeling. So here I am making some advices video for you guys who want to start modeling. To start modeling, first, there are 3 things that I feel like you need to have. The first thing is you can't be shy. You need to own your confidence. If you're shy, how are you gonna pose? How are you gonna act in front of a camera? You cannot be shy. You have to own your confidence. You have to be able to express yourself or be able to express the role that you're given. And second, you have to be a pretty face with a strong mind and attitude, because when you enter the modeling world, I must say that there's a lot of perks of being a model, and also there's also the downside of being a model. Being a model, you're being put as an object for people to criticize, to compare, to reject all the time. So you have to have a strong mind and a good attitude in order to make it, because it can be very frustrating to have someone criticize you all the time. You're not good enough, you're not skinny enough, you're not pretty enough. You know, you need to be able to like shut and overlook all those like comments about you and things that people say about you, and just, you know, be ground with yourself and like, nah, I got this. And the last thing for this one is you really have to want it. I feel like, because it can really be mentally exhausting if you are like half-assing into this. Like, you're not gonna make it through, you know? You need to really want this in order to like push yourself to learn, to improve, to be better, to overlook all the noises that people tell and talk shit about you, and all the competitions of all the pretty girls all around. You need to really want it to make it. Now, coming up to the second thing that I want you to know is that we have to know that there's many different types of modeling. You know, when I talk about myself being a model, it's like I actually get a bit shy or insecure about it sometimes. Because when I tell people, what do you work as? I'm like, I work as a model, and they're like, oh, you're a model? Like, how is that, you know? Because I'm only 5'3", but people don't know that in the modeling world, it's not just high fashion model, but that's what people are used to knowing, you know? Like, when they think of modeling, they're like, oh, runway, fashion, you know? But actually there's the other side of the world. There's also the commercial modeling, which I work in. Today I'm gonna list the 2 big modeling types. There's the high fashion and there's the commercial modeling. I personally work in the commercial modeling field, but I'm gonna talk a little bit about high fashion, but I don't have that much knowledge in that field. But for high fashion, it will require you to like shoot for fashion brands. You have to be skinny and tall, and you have to have skills on posing and runway, and you have to be able to express your inner and attitude. This is the briefly thing about the high fashion modeling. And for commercial modeling, it's basically you're shooting for brands and products, mostly like videos, and for TVC, you know, where you see on the screen on YouTube. That's commercial modeling. You don't have to necessarily be tall, but you must have a nice face and smile, because that's very commercial and that sells the product. And you have to have a little bit of acting skill. Basically, you need to be able to convince people. If there's a pizza right here, you need to have that acting skill on showing people how good that pizza is, that they buy it, you know? So yeah, you have to have some acting skills and well-rounded skills, I would say. It would be good, you know, the more you can do, the more roles you can get. For example, if you can drive a car, a big bike, you can skateboard, you can surf, you can do boxing, you can do yoga. There's like a bunch of things that you can cast for and get the job, you know? And talking about money, you know what? Actually, commercial modeling actually gets better money than the fashion modeling. In my case, in Thailand here, if you walk a runway show, you get about 8,000 baht a show. Comparing to commercial modeling, you can get for one project like 20,000 Thai baht up to like 100,000 Thai baht, which I have gotten that before from like a Nike commercial. I got like 100,000 and I was very happy, like one job, 100,000. If I was like walking the runway, I would have to walk 10 runways for this amount of money. So sometimes it's okay not to be all cool and shit like walking on the runway, but actually having money in the pocket, you know? Now, getting to the part where I want to become the model, how do I do it, you know? You can either build yourself or wait for people to discover you. There's two main ways. If you wait for people to discover you, you basically maybe have to reach out for some agency. Agencies, they are a company that like does all this modeling. They have casting and all that like sent to you straight away, you know? It's easy. If you can get a good agency, do that, you know? But the downside of getting an agency is that you have to give them the 30% out of every job that you get, but it's easier because they just send you like the jobs. You don't actually have to go out and hustle, and they might not sign you in some cases, not because you're not beautiful, but they want someone who suits the market, you know, like what's popular. For example, in my case, when I was 18, I got a few agencies that like called me in to, you know, go see them. And then I never really heard anything back from them, and then that got me like questioning like, oh, am I not pretty or what, you know? But I'm sure that it was because of my skin color that I'm tan, you know? And in Thailand, in Asia, everyone's hyped up about like whitening products, whitening skincare and all that, you know? And I am not the market here. I would get roles, but not like a lot, not what's popular here. But if I have like, you know, some tanning products or something, they choose me. So they cannot sign me because they have to like get the ones that get the most jobs. So yeah. So in that case, that if you don't get signed, it doesn't mean that your dream's over, it's crushed, you know. There's the other way, build yourself, which that is exactly what I did. On building yourself is basically you going out there to hustle to build your portfolio by yourself until you have the portfolio to go work. How do you build a portfolio? The first thing, you have to build your portfolio. I would advise you to practice yourself, do a lot of posing. What I usually do back then is I would like save all the pictures of like Victoria's Secret models posing on the beach and this and that, and maybe get a friend to help take a picture for you, and you can start like knowing how to pose and like from which angle, blah blah, and all this and that. And even some acting skill would be good also. Just practice in front of the mirror or go to some acting classes. And once you got yourself set, you can ask some local photographers to collaborate to make your portfolio, because you need that portfolio to start working. People need to see what you can do in order for them to hire you, you know? And I would have to say that don't be shy, right? People, DM the photographer, because even photographers, they need to update their portfolio all the time, you know? You don't just have pictures from like 7 years ago where you look completely different now, and you know, people want to collab. I have to tell you that in the beginning, you might have to work for free for a while, like, you know, do collaborations, this and that, for brands and this and that, like collab with them until you get like some pictures, some videos, some work portfolio that you can use for the next jobs. Also, when you work for free, keep that good connection with the people, because that connection might get you the job for the future. Also, another thing is having a good IG profile can be good for your work. I must say that Instagram is a work platform in this century, you know. At least just post some of your work photos there so people can actually maybe discover you or see you. And once you know you have started, you've been working for free for a while, you know now that, you know, you have your portfolio now and you start having value of yourself. Now it's the time to add tax. This is when you can start like charging people fees to shoot you, to get you to work for them. But you might not start like at a crazy price in the beginning. You start the ladder, you know, slowly climb up. And yeah, that's how you start modeling. The last advice I'd like to tell you is that keep the connection always when you work with clients, with people, you know, like be nice, have a nice attitude, have a nice personality, and they will want to keep working with you, and maybe they can give you some future jobs. Never stop looking for a connection. Connection is the way. So now that I've told you everything on how to start being a model, now I'd like to show you a little bit of the insights on how it is to work as a model. When you are a model, there's gonna be the casting process, the fitting, and actually going to the actual job until they wrap up and all that. So let's go! And right now I am getting ready to go to a casting. And which in a casting you should always wear light makeup, like as natural as possible. And natural hair, but like you make it look nice a little bit. And you should wear like a tank top, white, black, nude with like long jeans. So first, now arriving, you have to fill out these forms where it's like your name, age, height, blah blah, measurements, what are your talents, blah blah. And we're gonna go in that room. Now we're going in. Hi, my name is Claudia. I'm 164 centimeters tall and I weigh 47 kilograms.
2 3กล้องเฮ้ยเจอผู้ชายคนที่เราแอบชอบดีแต่เราก็ไปทีแล้วเดี๋ยวหันไป
2,000 years later.
That was it. And that is it for the casting. Done. Now you just wait for the result. If they will call you back, it means you get the job. Or you'll get a message that you didn't.
2,000 years later.
So now we're at McDonald's at 3:30 in the morning. So we're just gathering up here and we're gonna go with the van to another town near Bangkok and we're gonna shoot there.
2 a.m. in the car playing our favorite song.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe me if you'd like to be friends with me or whatever. Okay, see you in the next video. I hope this inspired you and it will help you if you want to start modeling.